Hey, welcome Nick Nice Corner. I'm Nick. We're in my corner. Today, we're going to talk to you about Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. So, I finished The Shining last week, and this week I finished Dr. Sleep. As a standalone, I would rate this book 4 out of 5, but as a sequel, a 5 out of 5, because it's not too often that sequels are really like this good. And it was a perfect extension onto The Shining, even though I felt The Shining had the perfect ending onto it itself. This one was just phenomenal. And I love how even, I think it's 40 years, maybe 30 some, but around 40 years since The Shining, and his authorial voice has not changed, which I was very excited about, and it drew me in and made me very entertained. I really loved what was happening. When I finished The Shining, I felt like I wanted to know more about what was happening with The Shining itself. I wanted to learn more about it, and he gave us that. And this book is in apple pie order, which is a saying that Stephen King has used in a couple of his books so far that I really love. He always gives you really weird turns of phrases in his stories, and I adore that. We follow Danny Torrance as he grows into adulthood and becomes a hospice worker, where he helps people pass on when they're dying. We learn that there is this wonderful little girl named Abra who shines very bright. And there is this secret group of, I don't want to call them vampires because they're not quite vampires, but they're almost vampires. Let's call them parasites. They are parasites, and they go around hunting people with the shine so that they can take in their steam. The book opens up with us seeing them, and baby, and they are a very scary group of people that I think was a fantastic villain for this story. And if you have read The Shining, you gotta pick this book up because it is phenomenal if you haven't read it already. I'm going to rate this a 4 out of 5 ultimately, because I am rating it as a standalone. Even though it is a sequel, I just feel like if I look at it as a standalone, 4 to 5 is what it deserves. The reason for that is if the True Knot wasn't a focal point in the book, but they were still there, but from the point of view from our heroes of like Danny and Abra, I think they would have been a more mysterious and a freakier villain than what they ended up being. However, they were still a freaky, villain. I just feel like they could have been shrouded in mystery, and that would have made them even more scarier. And that was my only real complaint for the entire book, because otherwise I felt the book was perfect. We followed Danny. He fell in with how his father was, and it was just phenomenal to, explore and see a recovering alcoholic try and do better. And it's a really great story on its own, and I love it that way. But from a sequel point of view, it's definitely a 5 out of 5, because how often are sequels really that good? And also, I wanted more from The Shining, and this book here gave us more. It gave us all kinds of extra and more information into The Shining, which is what I loved. I just felt that it could have created more tension and more mystery if they were not a focal point in the story, but more as like the bad guys in the background that we see through the point of view of our heroes. And this is a book for anyone who has read The Shining to pick up and read. It is quite amazing. I loved all the extra information in The Shining, and I felt like it was something, if you want something new but feels nostalgic to the point of The Shining, so if The Shining is your favorite Stephen King book, which at the moment it is my favorite, this is an extra add-on to that story, and I feel like King did that for us because he knew there was a story there to be told. I'm quite happy with it, and I hope that if you have read it, please tell me all about it, and we'll talk about it in the comments below. And if you haven't read it, please go check it out. It is fun, fantastic. You will enjoy it. You will have fun while you read it. King's voice is fantastic, so 4 out of 5 for me, and I say go get it. And that'll be all for me today. We're getting pretty close to Christmas, which is next week, so Merry Christmas to all of you. Happy Hanukkah to anyone who celebrates Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Whatever else holidays are coming up shortly. I hope everyone stays safe and enjoys their Christmas holiday. And I think next Friday, for my video, we will do a book haul for whatever I got for Christmas, which would be pretty cool. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for coming to the corner. Have a great day, guys. Bye.